What's up, guys? It's me, Alexander Jarvis from 50Folds. Now, today I'm going to be taking you through the add-in that I've made to make financial modeling way more productive for you. Now, this isn't like maybe some plugins you've seen where it's got like 150 quadrillion things you're never going to use, and basically all this looks a little bit confusing. This is a culmination of about 10 years of experience from me, financial modeling, figuring out what do I actually use. And then I did a decoding and I got a developer to check what I did. And I've made a tool which I actually use for myself. And this is super useful. It's just the things which I will actually use when I build these huge ass models, which maybe you've already used before, okay? So in this session, I'm going to take you step by step through each one so you can see exactly what they all do and how they're going to help you. Does that sound cool? Okay, now the first one we're going to do is my favorite tool. It's actually the reason why I started building this macro. I had a lot of people saying, oh, hey, Alex, all your models are in US dollars. I'm in Europe. I need to have this in euros, or, in Swiss francs, or in ringgit or something. So I said, oh God, fine. Why don't I see if there's a way that I can convert it? And I'll tell you, it was really, really hard, but we figured it out. So you can see here on the currency list, there are, I think, 17 different currencies that you can use. And I try to figure out all the ones which will kind of cover everyone the most. If there's something missing, I'm willing to kind of add it on for you. But you can convert your currency into any of these symbols, which is pretty cool. And the way you do that is so simple. So you'll see in the model, like right now, everything's in yen, right? See, they're all in yen. Well, all the currencies are anyway. Now we're going to change those. And all you have to do is hit two buttons. So say we want to have it in euro, change it to euro. You see the currency symbol pops up. And then you hit the currency swap button. Now, depending on the size of this model, this will take between like 7 and maybe 10 seconds. Just don't touch it and it'll be fine. As you can see, it's already done. That was like less than 5 seconds. And you'll see here it says euro currency has been set. Now, let's go check that out. You see now, everything is in euro. Like the whole model, which is really cool. Even the charts will actually change, by the way. So just to show you one more time, let's change this to something else. I don't know, Thai baht. Hit the currency swap button. 5 seconds later, it's going to pop up now and say, baht currency has been set. Let's just check that. See, baht everywhere. Now, one thing to note is this only works on 50Folds models. Because you have to do some custom formatting to make sure everything kind of works properly. So you can try using this in another model. You have to put this sheet into it. But this currency swap is designed for all the models that I built so that everyone can potentially benefit from it. I hope that makes sense. Now, next what we're going to do is best practice in financial modeling is to always save a version of your file. So just in case Excel messes up and corrupts your file, you don't lose your model. And I can tell you, that is a nightmare. I've seen people cry in investment banks when they haven't done it properly. So it's a huge problem. And the best thing to do is to keep saving. Now, the way you normally do that, we go to File, Save As, click where we're saying it, add in the version. Ugh, pain in the ass, right? No, thank you very much. So all you need to do, you see financial model example, there's no version here, but I think I've saved some because I was just checking this before I ran this. Just press save model version. I see version 10, boom. New version of this model has been saved. The previous version that you had is now a backup. We'll do it one more time. Boom, C11, boom. One more time, why not, just for hell. Version 12. Okay, that easy. So you just mash that button every sort of half hour maybe, and it'll save you ages of pain. Okay, now let's get into some of the modeling bits what I have. You see we have useful tools and before you share. So the next part we're going to deal with these useful tools is what some of the things I use to actually do modeling. So I don't know, let's click somewhere random here. So we'll see here that these are all absolute, right? They have dollar signs. Let's say we want to have that relative. Well, we could either drag and the selection we want, or you can use the mouse like this. Press OK. And now we'll see here, do you want absolute or completely relative? Row absolute, column absolute. So we'll see dollar signs everywhere, dollar signs in one place, dollar signs at the start, and no. So we're going to change that to no dollar signs because there's dollar signs here. Click OK. And we'll see that this has been changed. You'll see no more dollar signs anymore. Let's say we want to put that back. We'll just mash that. We're okay with that selection. And we want to have it say row absolute. So I'll press not 20, but 2. Now you see it's been changed. So we'll see it's in the dollar signs are just before the number. That's easy. Yeah, that's really handy. If you do any modeling, you'll totally understand why that's really cool. And so if you drag the formulas around, copy and paste them around, the way that these numbers will or will not change depends on where those dollar signs are or none at all. Okay, and let's say we don't like the way this looks because we have like an error, right? And it ends up looking like that. I'm like, oh God, and see it runs down the model, right? Pain in the bum. So we'll say we want to add in a error check for that. So let's say you want to have an NA there. So it shows NA. Press enter. We'll see. It says NA, but there's a calculation on this and it doesn't like NA. So go, oh God, it would change the formula. See here? It says now NA to 0. Okay, boom. See? The dependency on that is now fine. So there's different places and reasons why you might want to have NAs or zeros. Zeros is normally better for modeling. NAs are better with, I don't know, say you have like P&L for your deck, right? Like something you might want to copy and paste into a pitch deck. Then, maybe you want to show the NAs to show that it's like not meaningful. It's not applicable, okay? But you can switch these, from NAs to zeros just by hitting buttons, and you see this is all just quickly changed. Now, next thing. So in older versions of Excel, the way you would have to put in an error formula was a little bit more tedious. So it would be like equals if is error, I don't know, 0 over 0, say whatever, yes, then 0 over 0. And we'll see that it says yes, okay? But it's a little bit longer. Now, if you've got really super long formulas, you'll understand why it's a lot more beneficial to have an if error formula, not if is error, because there's replications. So you may think, oh God, do I have to manually change each formula? Yeah, it's a huge pain. So you just click change if is error to if error like that. You see it says if error 0, 0, yes. It's like way easier to read, especially with long formulas. This is like nothing, okay? So that's a super little tool, especially if you've got like legacy models that you kind of want to upgrade them. That's a nice way of changing it. Now, when I'm building big-ass cohorts, sometimes, you have things along a row and you want to have them in a column. So I don't know if we can find... See, we'll see this is now in a column. But I've transposed this data. Actually, another way you could do that is you would just transpose your cells with formulas. We could take this, conversion assumptions, tap that. We're okay with the selection. Now we want to put it where we want to put it. So let's say we want to stick it on the bottom, hopefully where something's not formatted crazy. We just want to stick it maybe below here. We'll stick it here. Smack that. Yeah, the formatting's a bit weird, but hey. Okay, and we'll see 28 at the start, 28 at the start. So instead of using transpose, you can just transpose your cells with formulas, and that's pretty handy, okay? Next, we'll look at making array formulas. Now, sometimes when you make really complicated array formulas, you need to change them. And you may have like 20 of them in a row, like, one big row, and changing them can be a pain in the ass. So one handy trick is actually just to use this called make array formulas or rebuild your array formulas. Or you can actually just, make them from scratch if you haven't done them yet. So we can select some data, make array formulas, and look at this. Boom. See, they have little curly brackets in the end. But not here, but they have them here. So if you change whatever for some reason, you could just click rebuild your array formulas, and it'll fix again. Super easy. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to mess around with our zooms. And so you'll maybe find that, you'll be in at 115% in one and 55 for another and 85 for this one. and it kind of be a little bit annoying to read. And maybe if you want to share this, it'd be nice to have everything at the same zoom level to save a bit of time. So all you need to do is hit the change zoom for all sheets and put that at, say, 100%. So just put in 100. Don't put in the percentage, just the number. Don't put anything crazy like a million, otherwise bad things will happen. And we'll say zoom has been changed to 100%. See, 100% for every single sheet that you have. You can change it again to say 85% if you want to zoom in a bit more, which I kind of model in. And boom, everything's been changed to 85%. You can see like a lot more. You know, you could zoom in a lot if you wanted to say 50%. So zoom out a lot, or, you know, get in a lot higher, say 150%. All right, now it's like super zoomed in. Okay, so that's cool. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to play with formatting. So we'll say here, this is all gray, right? For some reason, you don't want it formatted that way. I've done it that way because I want to hide it. Let's say you want to use proper standards. So consistency. So we'll see I have black for formulas, green for links, and somewhere we'll have assumptions. And you see they're all in blue, so you know exactly what they should be. Now, it can be a pain in the bum to format everything properly. And so what you can just do is you can select something like this and auto color selection, press OK. And you see that they're suddenly now blue because they're inputs, right? You know, maybe we'll add a quick new sheet and we'll say that, hey, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, okay? We'll see they're in black, but they're not actually formulas, right? We'll say this is a formula. And we'll say that, click into another sheet, right? These are going to be links, yeah? Now, you would have to manually go up to home or whatever, reformat everything with whatever you wanted to have. But who's got time for that? So you're going to select what you want. I'm going to just do this one more time. Select what you want here, and then click the auto color selection. Okay, we're okay with the selection. See what it's done. See, blue, black, green, just with the click of a button. And let's say you've got a big sheet and you don't want to have to kind of select everything. Well, you can just click auto color sheet like this. Boom. Blue, black, green. Now you can use this one called Auto Color Workbook. Now the problem is, in for example my model, I use different kind of formattings up, for example in the headers, okay? Because these are used for maths. I don't really want to show them, but let's say you have your own model and you don't care because you didn't do that. Well, if you want to save a bunch of time from formatting a model, all you do is click Auto Color Workbook like this. It takes a couple of seconds depending on how big your model is. This is, you know, running through hundreds of thousands of formulas in the models that I make. And then let's pop up now, hopefully. Okay, we're done. Now you see, my headers have all gone. So I don't recommend you do this in my models. I recommend that you click auto color selection, select what you want so that this doesn't really happen. You can fix it again, of course. But, you know, again, it's time saving. So just select what you want and click auto color selection, or if you're using your own models, like a non-50Folds model, click that auto color work button and it's fine. Now, similar to the auto zoom thing, it's kind of nice to format things nice and pretty. So this is why we're in before you share, right? So, you know, you can be all the way down here and all the way whatever, you know, wherever the hell you are, you know, blah, blah, down here, you know, who knows where you're at. And you want to put everything up to cell A1 so that when people look at it, it's always in the same position. And that's what it'll look like when you open one of my models that I provide for you. Now, I used to just press like Control Home on every single sheet again and again and again. And like, ugh, it's just a pain. So I made this macro. We just click this, center all sheets to model to A1. All right, A1. See, every single sheet is in cell A1. So when you look at it, you can see exactly the first sheet. Like before you share again, you can now change all zoom for the sheets to say 85%. And everything's at A1 and everything's at 85% and it just looks cool, right? Easy. Now, if we look for some comments somewhere, which I normally put everywhere, we'll see that mine are aligned right. Okay, they're right next to it. But, you know, sometimes people do stuff where that ends up like over here and it's like too big and it's basically just like looks crap like that. Well, rather than manually fixing them, just click the comment fixer. It'll run through the model and say all comments have been fixed. And we'll see that's perfectly aligned in the right place. Like everything will be in the right place. So that's a nice little way to clean up your comments as well before you share your model with anyone. Now, next, find external links. It can be enormously painful when you have been messing around with multiple sheets, pulling them together, and sometimes they accidentally will link together. And that means that you're not actually controlling all the inputs or the formulas, and you secretly have issues in your model. But honestly, finding those with Excel the way it is now is incredibly painful. So I made this macro, which will find them for you. I don't think there's any in here. So no external links, nice. But we could just quickly make something, I don't know, 50, 100, 25, something, okay? And I'm just going to connect my model to this sheet. So I don't know, in this sheet we'll have it here, we'll go to 50. And in another marketing sheet, say we'll put in equals the 100 and whatever, blog and social here. That'll accidentally be a number from this 25. I'll just save this quickly as book 1, okay? And I'll get rid of that. Now, you might have all these in your model. You don't actually know that. Like 25 could actually be quite important. See, it's connected to a foreign sheet. You just click Find External Links. That'll take a little second. And it'll pop up a sheet, and it's going to have a list of where all those external links are, where they're connected to, and what cell you need to find them for. So remember we had 3, 25, the 100, and blah, blah. Well, that tells you it's in the sub SKU or the marketing or the blog and social sheet in cell Q9. And it's linking to this as a formula from what workbook, so you can remember why it's linked somewhere. And see that it may be out of date, so you probably need to get that, okay? Unfortunately, sometimes in Excel, it doesn't like macros. So it'll say, hey, can I connect? Do you want to continue? Yes, it doesn't work, unfortunately. It's just a pain in the ass in Excel. I try to find a workaround for it, but there just isn't. I think it's something to do with macros, okay? So all you do is go to sub SKU Q9, sub SKU Q9, sub SKU, where is it? Q9, all right? Oopsies. Sub SKU Q9, and just delete it. Now, if you run this again just to see, again, these are huge models, right? So it just takes a little second. You'll see there's only 2, right? Whereas if we delete those again, it'll end up this saying you were clean, like no external links. So this is a great way to clean up and make sure there's nothing which is really negative going to be affecting your model. Okay, we're almost done. Just 2 more to show. This is really quick. I don't know if it'll show anything because my models are normally quite clean. And so this doesn't look like there's going to have much, but sometimes you can end up with like a whole bunch of styles, which you don't want, and it can make your model just a little bit slower. So easy thing to do is you just click remove, unuse styles. Oh, see, look, 46 styles have been deleted. There was something in here. And so these styles should all be cleaner, or there'll be things missing and hidden within Excel you didn't know about, but they're not there anymore. Cool. Now, the final thing is check sheet sizes, this one here. Now, what you'll find is sometimes you'll be messing around, do something by accident, and like you'll get down to row 1 billion, and Excel will think that that is the last cell that you actually used, okay? And so you might see that, you know, your scroll bar will end up being, you know, really long. So if I had, say, like 1 in here, okay? You see like the scroll bar is way longer. Okay. Now, so Excel actually adds up all this and increases your file size. Okay. And that's a pain in the bum. So I don't know if we go a little bit longer here, we'll see something. Let's do it here. Okay. Sheet 2. Okay. So you run check sheet sizes, and it's going to create a sheet for you, and it's going to tell you the size of each and every sheet in your model and how big your model is. And so if you used to have like a model of just 4 megabytes and it ends up being like 20, like, oh God, something's obviously wrong. And that's exactly what it is. Somewhere you have put in a cell where Excel thinks is there, but it's not actually there. So you can check and see, is there anything which looks particularly weird, okay? here doesn't show very much, but we'll see sheet 1 and sheet 2 had the same amount of data, but sheet 1 is a little bit larger. It's a little bit hard to illustrate for you, but you know when your model has gone wrong, this will end up being like 5 megabytes. Okay, and then you go, oh, do you know what? That's wrong. I need to check that sheet. At which point, you know, you go in, and what you just want to do is you press down, press minus, go across, press minus, and then all the bad stuff will be gone. So just go to the last cell where you're at here, delete everything down and across, and the file sizes get smaller. Okay, guys, there you go. That is a fairly long interview, walkthrough into the cool plugin that I made. And again, these are only things that I use. So if you're looking to be more productive, you want something which is just the things that you'll actually need, you should check out this tool. And if you get any of my models, the cap tables, ESOP, SaaS, subscription, e-commerce, all the models that I make for you guys, just remember, like, the coolest thing about this, and the main reason why I actually went out and started making this thing, other than being a huge nerd, is that you can change all my models into 17 different currencies. So hopefully that will help you be a boss at Excel and just make your life easier. Any questions, feel free to ping me, guys. Thanks so much for spending time with me. Bye.